Mom is upstairs.
Yeah, man.
These guys
If
are
you
so
want to let
funny.
it be so, brother. Don't
All
keep
right,
out
all
this
right.
way.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast of Action Require Media. Here we are dedicated to discussing hard truths and finding remedies for our problems. On this platform, we will stay engaged on all happenings in Mama Liberia, not limited to politics, religion, development, economy, security, crimes, war on illegal drugs, employment, growth, youth growth, and food production. To this, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching and listening to Action Require Media. Here we are. Here we are dedicated to saying the truth about things, and we educate, entertain, and empower. Ladies and gentlemen, our topic today for discussions are President Joseph Yimon Boakai's radio address to the nation. What do you make of it? The recent protest organized by STAN, ladies and gentlemen, even during the presidential address, President Boakai denied owning the home in Foya. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will be discussing that. We say like and share our show. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go through our introduction. And at this time, we will start with Brother Edwin Paul. Brother Edwin.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Edwin Saipo Jr. I'm a writer. I'm very actually intrigued today to respond to Joseph Boakai speech. Apparently, is of concern. So we're trying to decipher and break it down and see whether he's trying to state the truth or is it well intentioned, if it's gonna work. I'm excited to be joined by my fellow panelists today. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Edwin. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will go to Dr. Archibald B. Ward to introduce himself.
See what your volume is low.
At this
Yeah,
time, we'll go to Dr. Archibald B. Ward to introduce himself. Can you hear me now?
yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure being here. Merry Christmas to you all, and I pray and hope that you are having a great time. You and your family getting ready to celebrate the birth of our Lord and our King birthday, and I'm wishing you all a blessed time. I'm looking forward to this discussion. It's all about Liberia, and, and I'm very blessed to be here with my brothers so that together we can share and point out things that were discussed in the president's recent address to the nation, and then together move our country forward. That is our way of giving back to our country, at least for to discuss Liberia in a positive way, to recommend suggestions so that our country can become a better place for all of us. So I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for following us. Please don't hesitate to send us your comments, follow us, like our show, share it if you can, and we just pray God's blessings upon you and your family as we celebrate uh, Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Water. And again, I am Brother Joseph Brown here today. I'm going to turn
Hello,
so
Roger.
today's discussion will be chaired by Sergeant Leo Montgomery, founder of Action Require Media. So at this time, I will ask Sergeant Leo Montgomery to introduce himself, and then we're going to go directly into our discussions. Sergeant Montgomery.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Liberia. Good evening, the rest of the world. From my end, depending on where you guys are watching us from, I bring you all greetings, season greetings. Happy Merry Christmas. I'm wishing that my prayer is that all of us can celebrate the birth of Christ and enjoy this festival as we celebrate. I want to take this time to also say what's up to my fellow families here on this great platform. This is the Action Required Media where we entertain, we educate, and we bring information, news, views, and interviews to the people at the same time. I am Sergeant Leo Montgomery. I will be your moderator for today. We ask that you please share our show. We are on YouTube, Facebook. Share on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share. Amen. Okay, with that said, I will please like Pastor Wallo to please open us with a word of prayer. We don't like to just start our podcast just like that. We want to invite the presence of the Lord in our midst. Pastor Wallo.
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you. We give you praise and the glory. We bless your name, Lord. We want to thank you, Lord, for your grace, for your mercy, for what you have continued to do in our lives. I want to thank you for our country, Liberia. I want to thank you for the leadership that you have given us, our president, President Boakai. I want to thank you, Lord, for the speaker, for the vice president, for the president pro tempore, and all of the people, Lord, you have given us as leaders. We pray, Lord, that you will continue to endow them with wisdom as they lead this great nation that you are giving us. Even, Lord, as we discuss, we pray that your spirit will lead us not to condemn, Lord, but to prefer suggestions, recommendations that will move our country forward. I want to thank you, Lord, for your children that will be following us to listen. We pray, Lord, that our discussion will provide information, Lord, that will give them a better insight about their country as well. I want to thank you for all that you have done for us. I want to give you all the glory and praise. Thank you now, Daddy. Bless you. In the name of Jesus, pray. Amen.
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 Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your humble servant, Dr. Leo. Well, look, again, you've been seeing the topics. We will be touching base on the president's radio address to our nation, and also, if time permits us, we will speak on the recent protest that was spearheaded by STAN, organized by Moloba Molu. And I will, I will want to ask if our CEO has if you have the tape of the president's address, we will just play it briefly and we will, speak as, the tape proceeds. So
Yes.
if you have it,
I'm about to.
CEO, or we can
Let me.
continue while you play. If you're ready, let us know.
No, yeah. Let me try to see and play if you guys can hear the volume first, and then
Okay.
I will bring the video in. Um,
Okay. Well, again, please just share the show, like it on Facebook, on YouTube, subscribe, and share. You can also drop your comments. We will read. I love reading comments. If you drop us a comments and you want to be a part of this platform as well, send us the information. We'll send you the invites. All right. But guys, while the CEO look for the tip and adjust it, we've all heard of the president's recent
to
radio.
serve this
okay, if you guys ready, I can do that.
Yeah, yeah. Just play it briefly, and then when I'm ready, I'll tell you when to stop, and then we can continue.
Okay, give me 1 second. So I'm gonna get him. All right. So this is a clip, and you're gonna hear this. Okay.
Yeah, play it. We're not hearing the audio.
I'm about to. Hold on.
again. Came back, Eileen asked me to run with her as vice president. 12 years. Later on
So
left.
just keep it back.
And we took a defeat. Then we went to private business. And later on, we came back. And the simple reason is that I have always said it. I didn't come to become president. I came in to rescue our country, to give a new Liberia hope for young people who are very much endowed but need an opportunity, and for market people, for everybody. So I'm here to serve this country so that this country can be recognized. 179 years. See where we are, no road, no electricity. We're here to change that story, and I'm here for that.
When did you conceive that idea of wanting to be president? Because you were
Now, not president, as I told you, I always wanted a leadership that would lead this country by example and leadership that really cared for it, that know the country, know the history of the country, Nobody had to tell me anything about here. I live it. I used to live in funny way. We used to sleep on the floor there and so forth. So I know what people go through. So even as I ride car, tinted windows, I know people who are suffering, people who need help. So I live with it. So it's a passion I have, and this is something I'm here for.
So you've been president for almost, we're going to the third year, by next month will be.
Are you okay with that, Sergeant
Yeah,
Montgomery?
yeah, yeah. We want to cipher this one, then we'll start again.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for playing that. Let me start with my brother Edwin. You heard our president there spoke. What you make of the whole the setting, the interview, the question that you were answering, brother Edwin?
Well, I think President Boakai is well intentioned. I think he thinks that he can help Liberians. I listened to that interview a little bit extensively, not the whole thing, then that part. So I think I went 34 minutes in. He talked about road connectivities. You got to open up the country. Without the roads, the country can remain. It's going to remain closed. And he talking about building school. Now these are all good things, right? Like you can't just critique people because you don't like them because of the party alignment and stuff like that. So you don't just want to be here critiquing people because we're all here. We go if the country does good, then Liberia wins. That's what we're here for. At least we're not here to be partisan aligned. That's not what we want. But my problem that I have with it is they are so government oriented. They are so government driven that the government is God. The government can solve the problem. The government will build school. The government will build these roads. In Liberia, for one road contract to go through and go through the Congress and get approval, it take anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years to get approval. And any big contract to go through, the negotiations, the contract, and then you run it through Congress, and then the approval. Here's why that is a problem. If you're building roads and schools, you have to unite with the private sector. I've been preaching this. But the first thing is, if you went into a third party or private sector for your road connectivity, the first thing they're going to do is, because it's a contract that is so important to them, they're going to hire lawyers. They're going to write the laws for you faster. So whatever that's going to take your contract through the hurdles for 1.5 years to 2 years, they can push that legislation through in 6 months because it's of importance to them. And also the third party don't have time to waste and drag things. All of the stuff that he said, again, is well intentioned, but if you try to action orient it, it's going to be so slow to achieve. And I like that he started the process. But if you're a practical person, for you to see, even like in America here, like the suburb, that schools are not, the government funds the building of the schools, but the third party takes the contract to make the suburban school better. They take the road contract to make it go faster. Everything that he said is all government driven. That's the only problem that I have with him. And it's practically sometimes not achievable. It sounds so good. It's music to the ears. It sounds like he's for the people. But if you're a practical person, these things cannot be achieved fast enough because Liberia is so behind compared to the surrounding countries around us. If you want to catch up, you got to use brute force. A third party, for instance, can hire a lot of people to just pour attention on one job. You can go all over the Bangawa and hire all the young boys because they got the money, they want the stuff to go through. And that road will be done faster than when the government take the contract. Because if the government is between there, then there's a hurdle, then things are slow up. Things will slow up. So that's the only problem I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wallo. Same question. What's your make of the president's remark to the country?
thank you, Pastor Kumar. Well, let me first begin by saying that Whoever advised the president to have done this radio interview, I think they did the president a good thing, because I might be wrong on this, but since the president was inaugurated into office, this is the first time I've seen the president giving a radio interview or availing himself to journalists for them to ask him questions. And I thought that that was a good thing to do. And I really, really encourage the people around this president, most especially the Ministry of State, that that runs the president's day-to-day activities, to encourage the president to do more of these. Right, Liberians need to hear from him all the time. Not after 2 years before he gave one radio interview. So I thought this was belated, and I encouraged them to put the president out there. Uh, Pastor Kraman, when you listen to the president spoke well about what is in his heart, right? I was privileged to have sat with this president and talked to him. When you sit down with President Boakai and he talked to you, you feel what's in his heart, right? But the president spoke about a lot of things. What he said does not match with what has been done. Okay, he said a lot of good things, but little have been done so far. And I'm hoping that whatever is it that is in his heart, that can be translated into good policy making, so that those things can be implemented. And by the time he leaves the presidency, he will say, I thought about these things, I was able to implement them. Okay, it was not just slogans, it was not just political rhetorics. It was something that I was able to do. Let me go directly to the clip that the CEO played. He said, I did not come to be president, or I came to rescue this country. Well, that is what I think he meant, that the presidency was not his passion. Making Liberia a better country has always been his passion. So the presidency was a means to an end. The presidency was not the end. Okay, I want to be president because I want to help change this country. Okay, I want to rescue this country. And they have the rescue agenda, or they have the arrest agenda eminent from the rescue campaign promises. But so far, little has been rescued. We haven't seen much done when it comes to rescuing the country. The country practically is still the same, or it is, things are still happening from previous administrations. The president has the passion, he has it in his heart, but whatever is it that is in his heart is not translating into tangibles. Okay, Liberians want to see tangibles. Okay, Liberians want to see actual things happening. So with everything the president said, okay, that's good. But we want to see them being implemented into policies, into tangibles. And for me, I haven't seen much of that being done. Okay. Everybody I have sat with the president, they say, yeah, when you sit down with President Baka, he talks to you, you know that you have good intention for the country. I think one of the disadvantages about this president is his age. Okay. His age is not permitting him for him to be really bigger, and to do what actually is in his heart. I think the age is actually affecting him. But good intentions, he has good intentions. But good intentions cannot build a country, right? You have to make it practical so that it can translate into tangibles, and the people can see, feel, and begin to experience your administration.
Thank you. So let me welcome our listening audience again. Welcome to the podcast of Action Required Media. I'm Sergeant Montgomery. Please share and like our show. Today's discussion is going to be based around the president's radio address to the nation. We will be deciphering, we will be speaking on bits and pieces of the clips. So as we proceed with the show, we will be showing bits and pieces of the clips, the president's address, and then we'll speak on it. But let me say where I'm coming from with this tip. Look, I saw a president who was speaking from both sides of his mouth. Okay, the president said, "I didn't come to become president, but you heavily campaign. You know, I didn't want to be president, oh, but you heavily campaign, went across." And you see, look, Pastor Water and the fellow, my panelists here, let's give credit to, look, the president said there are no roads in Liberia. There are no roads in Liberia. Give a man a credit, even if that one stone he puts down for you to come and take the lead from his hands, give that credit. But for a certain president to say there are no roads in Liberia, but he's the same president that's going and cutting ribbons for different roads around. And those roads were not built by his regime. So you see, the president needs to speak out so that we can understand what he's trying to say. But I'll ask the CEO to show a snippet again of
Okay.
the video so that
Yeah,
we can
so
speak on it.
so
So yeah, what's
prior
your opinion? Go from there.
before doing that, and this is what I want to say, right? Even though everybody's making a point, but let's give him a little bit credit here. When it comes to the LEC, um, he has done much with LEC being stable and being extended um, to
See you be going into my video. Let's get into the video, then we'll get into the LEC part.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but I just want to say that, and the Dr. Water point he was making, even though let's say here this is the first year, and I think I will agree with Dr. Water on this part.
I disagree with you. This is the president.
He does.
Tell yeah, we're going into. Not in first year, my
Oh,
brother.
my bad, sorry,
You misspoke. Yeah.
my bad. Yeah, I misspoke. Uh, Dr. Water related to his age. I think his age will kind of like affect him. And the point that Dr. Water made was clear that intention, the intention does not build a country. We gotta be practical about it. And again, let me go ahead and play this clip real quick, and then we can go through discussions. Are you okay, brother? To go ahead now.
Yes.
Play
Sir.
it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, what will you tell you the Liberia that looking to rescue? Well, where is it?
I want to tell you people that when I say something, I mean it. We say rescue. Rescue, you will believe people who are going through a lot of problems here. Although sometimes when you live in a situation, you live it, and the powers that be, you got to satisfy them. But we knew that people were going through hardship. You knew that people needed electricity. People needed good roads. People needed some affordable food, and people needed a lot of things, their children to go to good schools. But that was the situation at the time. And it lay with me, and I said, this is a situation that we have to change. I'm a Christian. The Bible says, you who know to do good, you don't do it, to you a sin. You may ignore it, but these young people cannot do it for themselves. They needed a leadership that cared, and that's why I lay with, and that's why I'm here. So it was not presidency, but you have to be president by title. My real job here is to make sure that we give our people life, give them better life, show their true potential. We see all the small countries around us who used to depend on us, who used to come here. Today we run into them. Why should we continue to do that? I hear even small countries, countries that we have, they say they are the gateway to Africa. And I'm saying Liberia will be the destination.
Destination.
They will pass through you and come here, and it will happen.
It will happen.
Of course. You can see it in a movie.
So the program is we have three on this panel list. We have Bhavin.
Friends is also here.
Brother Edwin. Brother Edwin, you just heard the president there said we needed schools, we needed roads, and everything else. What you make of those statements by by our president, Brother Edwin?
First of all, whatever Bible verse you were quoting, that's not from the Bible. That's for a fact. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Go ahead, brother
Can
Edwin.
you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can
I
hear
can
you,
hear
Edwin.
you.
We cannot hear you now.
That's not a Bible verse. That
Okay,
I don't
you go.
know. Like, you
We
can
can hear
hear
you.
me?
We can hear you now.
Okay.
That's about voice. That James
Whatever
4:17.
you were quoting, that's not from the Bible.
It's from the Bible, James 4:17.
Brother Pastor, let him
That's
make his
not
point.
James 4:17. I'm quoting.
That the devil about you,
That's,
he was quoting from.
that's something else I missed. Bro. So, and then secondly, other, secondly, all I will on the panel here, if Joseph Boakai show up to your house in the United States,
Yeah, yeah, we having difficulties, technical difficulties with Brother Edwin.
With Edwin, yeah.
Network. Brother Edwin, let
I'm,
me go over to Doctor.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm hearing you
yeah.
guys though. I'm hearing you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your video went blank.
There's a little glitch with your video and your audio. We can barely hear you. It's coming in and out. Can
Your
you?
video went blank.
Oh,
Yeah, so your video is
what?
off now. Yeah, if you want to get out and come back in, that'll be fine as well too. But while you do that, let me hear from Dr. Wallow. Dr. Wallow, the president just spoke about roads, food, school, and everything. What you make of the president's remark there?
So, yeah, right. Thank you, Dr. Kumar. Well, let me first say that Edwin is the president quoted James chapter 4 verse 17.
Yeah.
Uh, he that knoweth to do good and does it not, to him is sin. That's what the president said. He
Yeah.
wasn't wrong about that. But let me go to the issues that the president outlined. The president said before there were no good schools, people were suffering, there were no good roads, there were no electricity, stable electricity. The president went out and named all of these things. Have these things been resolved? Are they not happening? Are people not suffering? Do we have better roads now? No, no. I mean, I appreciate the president's good intentions. You know, it I like the fact that president keep talking about the president is just the title. But what I came to do, my job is to make people's lives better. That is the job for every president. To make people's lives better, to do for the country what it cannot do for itself, to do for people, to do for your citizens what the citizens cannot do for themselves. That is the job for the president. So it's not just your job, it's the job for every president. That's why when things go wrong in the country, they don't blame the minister of justice, or they don't blame the minister of public works. They blame the president. That's why Liberians elected you, to make their lives better. So if it happened in previous times, which is very unfortunate, okay, but that is the job for every president. So what I would say is that yes, the president, talked good talk, but everything he outlined. Look at our education system. Is it better? There are children that are still selling in the street. He said when you become president, no child will sell in the street. Children are still selling in the street. People are still struggling to make ends meet. There is no jobs in the country. Okay? If it is not because of Liberians in the diaspora, Liberian families will go to bed hungry.
Yep.
Most people will die from starvation. So nothing has been better yet. Yes, you have good intentions. But don't say that, it happened previously, it's not happening now. No, it's still happening now. It's still happening. All the things the president talked about is still happening. I spoke to a friend recently who said that And since he went to Liberia, electricity have been, stable for the time he been there. That's good. Okay, that's good. But let's understand that we are in a rainy season. Let's wait until the dry season. Okay, Liberia Electric City have not had much of a problem during the rainy season. Okay, so yes, maybe they have made some improvements on the electricity, but Liberians in masses are still suffering, and nothing significant has changed yet. Okay, yes, I'm not denying the fact that maybe there are things that have been happening, or things that are improving, but we haven't seen much of it. Uh, T Max asked a beautiful question. What about Liberia that you came to rescue? And the president named all of these things. None of those things have been rescued yet. Okay, so maybe they are still in a rescue mood. But if the president said these are the things that they came to rescue, they still got work to do on our part.
Thank you, CEO. Let me get your views on what the president said in that video, in that little clip.
So, and Dr. Water is right on this. I think the president needs to calm down a little bit, not to start taking virtual laps. And he was very much not truthful when he said no rose connection has been done, and maybe it's done through him. I think that's unfair statement to be made. Um, the government is a continuation, okay, of the past government. Um, I think all he could have said in that clip is, "We are work in progress." Okay, um, from one administration to another administration, we're working on the road connectivity, and we're not there yet. But I can tell you that these roads are considered standard road compared to the European standard, or maybe some part of African nations. So I think he needs to stop thinking that he's winning or taking victory laps, and put the country above himself. And the fact that he's not recognizing, even if George Weah didn't, even if he doesn't like George Weah, but give him some credit here too as well. LEC, like Dr. Waters said, we have not been tested yet. The dry season is coming. Where we're going to be tested? Have they made any improvement to the hydro to continuously provide electricity for the portion of Liberians they are providing for? I don't think so. And again, it's too soon. All he could have done, encourage the Liberian people, hey, Liberia is getting better. We need to work together. It's a government thing, continuation, national agenda. We're going to work on the roads. We're going to work on. But the poor way he's taking virtual lap about food being provided, people are now starving, and things are going well under his government. That is not true. That is not true. I think when
Well,
we stop
sorry,
playing
Ron, I'm
politics,
back. You guys can hear me?
well, yeah, we can hear you, Edwin. When we stop playing
Okay.
politics with Liberia, we will do better. Until then, we need to put our acts together.
Thank you, CEO. Please, okay, bring Edwin back on the screen. But let me make this point here. CEO, bring me on the screen, please.
Yeah, about to do that.
Let me make this point, right? Can the president said you knew that we needed good road. You knew that we needed food. You knew. So again, I hope I'm not misquoting him, but from what I heard, he was saying you knew.
Hello?
Who is he talking to? Yo, watch it. Yo, you guys watch it with me. Who is he talking to? Because did not mind you, this a president who served this a president who served for 12 years prior to George Manuel we are coming to becoming president, right? He served for 12 years. Now, I like when people make the excuse that, oh, he was just a VP, was a parked car, but at least he could have influenced it because he supervised the Senate directly as a VP. You are saying you knew the people needed school, so he's blaming either his previous regime that he served with, or he's trying to lay blame on the predecessor in George Manuel Weah. So let's go back to what you did, you and Ellen, because I'm not seeing any resolution to what you're saying you knew. Like all of my fellow panelists have said here, Are there better roads now? Yes, let's give credit to CDC for what they started. Okay, I'm not trying to play the party politics here. Again, while we know that our government's continuity, I understand that, but you give me a better road. You didn't do that in your previous 12 years of Mr. Boakai, Mr. President. You talk about food as an agriculturalist, one who has served in our previous in your previous government as minister. What did you do? Okay, yes, I'll give it. People say rest price has gone down now to a point where Librarians are not even crying for rest again because the country is in so much chaos when it comes to everything else that's happening, right? You said that go school. Who are you blaming? Like who you pointing fingers to? That's what I want to know from our president, right? You knew if you want us back, can go back, we can play it. But you heard that. Who is the president talking to? Let me hear from my brother Edwin.
No, before you go to Edwin, Pastor Kuma, I think you are right
Yeah,
because the United Party administration have served 12 years prior to
Yep.
CDC 6 years.
yeah,
So there is so much blame to go around. Okay, but the United Party have to take much of the blame because they
yeah.
have been in power for a longer time compared to President we have 6 years. So I agree with you on that part. So
Thank you.
the question he's asking, I know it might be hypothetical question, but he should be able to answer that question.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. But Edwin, take it from there, brother.
Yeah, but first of all, Pastor Waller, you're right with that J4 7. It just maybe his interpretation just caught my ear off guard. I had to look it up because maybe you're speaking different English or something like that. Anyways, also in our interview, the interviewer pressed him. He said you're building all these roads. You're talking about all these schools, but the regular Liberian people don't have money in their pocket. What do you say about
Yes.
that? So the
Yep.
interviewer was asking him that. So water is in comparison to other government that has served before, including his. There is no any new vision. According to Liberian standards, he thinks he's doing well. According to the standards he set for the past 12 years, according to the standard that CDC set, according to the standard the previous regime set, he feels like he's doing better than them. That's what he feels. So he's not in the 21st century. He's not. He doesn't have anything else but just to do what the party should have done, which is still not visionary. There's so much stuff in bureaucracy. There's so much bureaucracy going on. And that's the only thing they know how to do. They know how to do bureaucracy. And bureaucracy can leave stuff in statements. Things can be all stalled when you're doing too much of bureaucracy because the government is coming to be back.
Anyway,
So the reason why we talk so much about Cummings on this place here, he's the only person that can launch the private sector. He's the only person that can do it. My only qualms that I have with Cummings is he said hire me first before I do something. That's the only problem I have with him. But he's the only person that can launch a private sector style government in that country. That's what Nigeria is doing. That's what Ghana is doing. That's what they're better than us.
but
Abuja is bureaucracy, but entire Nigeria is entrepreneurship.
you're right.
Thank you.
Brother Kwame, can I come in real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead, CEO.
So the point Joseph Broca was also making, and I think I didn't really appreciate the fact. But one point he made that was outstanding, that Liberia used to be a place where smaller countries were running to, and maybe there's a point where he said Liberia is going to be the place of a destination again, and I'm hoping and I believe in that Liberia will be someday that home that the nations around us used to run to, the Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. They will come running to the University of Liberia. I'm hoping that it happens one day, but it cannot happen with a selfish statement that it's got to be on you. Okay, and again and again.
So what were those days again that Liberia used to be so good? Like everybody was begging it. I found
No, we had one of the best university. We had one of the best university in Africa and West
But
Africa,
anyway,
LU. Our law school,
bro.
our law
ask
school were
Pastor Wolo a
outstanding.
question.
Our law school were
Yeah,
outstanding.
yeah,
On a whatever
yeah.
year
Let me
stuff,
go to
man.
Dr. Wallo real quick. CEO,
Go ahead.
before we go back to the clip, I want to ask Dr. Wallo a question because he has sat with the president before Dr. Wallo, imagine listening to the president in that space in the studio at the time sitting with T-Mac, right? If you were serving on the president's team now and listening to what he said there, and don't play the party politics, what would you have advised him to say better? Just listening to that, knowing what you know he said for 12 years, but here you are pointing the finger. Dr. Wallo, I want you to speak to that, please.
Look, let me
Man,
let
I
me
said
let
about
me let me
15 years,
say
my man.
that Joel chapter 2 says that all men will dream dreams.
Yeah, the young man
Right.
with some vision.
Vision.
It's young men that will see vision. Edwin is calling for visionary leadership.
And an old man.
Right. President Boakai is an old man. President Boakai see dreams of Liberia being a better country. He's dreaming of a Liberia being a country of destinies. Right? He's seeing a Liberia, he's seeing a dream of Liberia, having better road connectivity, having a better school. But President Boakai cannot do that. He's dreaming it. We as young people, let's take President Boakai's dream and make it a reality. So, Pastor Kuman, to answer your question, I would say, if I were advising the president, I would say this to the president: Mr. President, what you said today were good. How can we translate all of that into a vision?
Intangibles.
Right? How can we translate that first into a national vision? Then out of that national vision, we can take out policies. Right? Because talking it is one thing, but crafting it as a vision so that other people, President Boakai is old. He may not be around forever, right? So that young men in your party, people that will come after you, when they see it, they will run with it, right? Translate that into a national vision. And that's what I don't see. In fact, when you read, when we go further into the clip, the president says something that really it makes me want to ask him about job creation, right? He said, I told the finance minister to put some money in the budget so we can create jobs. When I heard that, I was like, oh God, help our president. You told
How
the
that gonna
finance
work?
minister to put money
How
in
you,
the
how you, how you
budget,
gonna put money into the government to create jobs?
to put money in the budget to create jobs. I
But
thought
Dr. Wallace,
once I
have
got
you
once
tried class with people that got different specialties? And the people with specialties, they just don't know how. Let's
yes,
just take the truth for what they are. They
exactly.
just
I'm
don't
just
know about
talking, Edwin.
finances. They don't know
That,
about economics.
that,
That's just it. That's that village. They reach that village. They don't know anything about economics.
That's my
Dr.
point.
Water,
You
maybe
ask the
maybe
finance
maybe the
minister.
man
Let me
maybe the
just end
man
with this.
meant
You ask
maybe
the
he
finance
meant
minister to put money in the budget. I thought you're supposed to give him a plan
yeah.
how to create a job. Not telling him to put money in the budget. Give him a plan. This is my job plan. This is what I want us to implement that will provide jobs for Liberians. You tell him to put money in the budget. I thought it was to be honest, Edwin, you're right. If you don't know it, you just don't know it.
You
Thank
just
you.
Dr.
don't
Water,
know.
Dr. Water,
Thank you. Let
I
me hear
think
from
I
CEO.
think
CEO,
I
go
think
ahead.
they make it come up. He come up with a clearer statement by tomorrow or the after tomorrow and say, I meant take that money and put it into banks where you can have business people come and credit. They got credit union and take that money and invest into their businesses where they can hire more people. There's more clarity here. He can come back tomorrow, a week or
But
two.
CEO, you should have done that in a plane. Okay, not
No,
telling the finance minister to put money in the budget.
Hey, I'm just
but,
covering
but
up.
Brown,
Yeah,
Brown,
yeah.
number screens, number screens. Economics is a walking tool. It's not politics for you to speak it. If you're doing economic, people got to see. They say this is what I did. I went to Wanga, I installed something. I contracted with a third party. They bring in X amount of job. Or that's how economic is done. It's not in talking when you see Comey speak. He's talking about number. He will walk you through the different things, whatever, taking planes, how to divert. You'll be talking about numbers. Number screams. They don't talk. It's not politics. It just show people. You got to show people what you're doing. That's what economic is. Economic is mobile, is practical, It's not talking. You don't talk with math. That's the reason why math is different from history.
Thank you. I think I like what Edwin said earlier. You know, Edwin, I think Liberia needs you, my brother. I'm not trying to puffle you up here. You know, I like people who see it and go for it. But let me be very frank here. Let me be very frank. I see a president, and I'm just going to be very blunt. I see a president who actually has a good heart, but the implementation of it is where the problem lies.
Man, we're trying to cheat a baby, you let her go. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I see a president who really likes the country,
So you say,
but look.
wait for that.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Yeah, guys. Thank you. Beautiful daughter, by the way. But anyway, I see a president who really, I think he likes the country. But you know, one thing, okay, if I'm not mistaken, Pastor Wolo will correct me. I think Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 says, write a vision and make it plain. Right? Write a vision and make it plain. You cannot be daydreaming if the people that's working around you don't know what your vision is. Okay? But I just thought to say that the president is living, he's wishing to live what he couldn't accomplish from his prime. I don't know if that makes sense. The president has way past his prime. He's wishing now. What he's dreaming of now should have been his vision. I don't know. I mean, I'm making sense, Pastor Wallo.
You
Yeah,
make sense.
Pastor Kumar,
Yeah, go ahead.
let me say this. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Mm,
had a dream. He
right.
did not live to see the dream.
Yes.
We were right in the country when the first black president became president, was elected president, President
Yeah.
Barack Obama. President Boakai is sharing his dream with Liberians. To me, that's an old man sharing his dream about the country he loves. We, the young people, should listen to this dream. Liberia deserves a better economy. Liberia deserves roads connectivity. Liberia deserves better education. Liberia deserves better healthcare. We deserve that. Liberians deserve that. That's President Boakai's dream. If this old man cannot accomplish or achieve that, it will be a failure for our generation not to pursue that. This is a man that has good intentions for his country, but he does not have the zeal, the stamina to achieve it. It is left with us now, who are the young generation, to achieve it.
You know,
So what I would
I would,
say,
I would,
2029 shouldn't be about electing all people.
I agree.
you know,
Dr. Waller,
I would
unfortunately,
differ
I'm gonna
with
have to
you
disagree
on,
with you.
I would
I'm
differ
sorry.
you, I would differ
Well,
with
I
you
need a
on.
little pushback. I need a pushback for Dr. Waller.
That's
Me
fine.
too, me too. Go ahead, Edwin.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Go ahead,
Joseph
Edwin.
Baca does not have a dream. He's delusional. He's trying to be dreaming when you're agriculture minister. That's what he's trying to be dreaming. He doesn't have a dream. He's a deluded old man talking about Korean ship and all that stuff. We need to get him out of there.
So
Let me hear from CEO.
what,
CEO, you are saying something. Go ahead.
my pushback here would be, it's not Joseph Boakai dream to see Liberia the way he envisioned Liberia. Liberians have always been dreaming about Liberia being better. So giving Joseph Boakai the platform that he is the only person dreaming to make Liberia better, man, I take it back for him. That's not true. A lot of
Right.
Liberians have been
No,
dreaming.
but
Some
see,
kind of-
that's not the point.
no, the
The
point, but I'm
is
just,
he,
but the
he
point
is
he
the
making,
president.
the point
He
he
is the
making
current
is that
president.
he is the president or the only person who is dreaming to see Liberia better. But that's not true. He has
But
not
see,
been the only
CEO,
person or the only president
CEO,
dreaming to make Liberia better.
So, all right, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
President Boakai is talking about connecting Liberia through roads connectivity. He's talking about, national airlines, airplanes, take you from county to county. Okay, talking about all these beautiful things. Can President Boakai achieve that in 4 years? He can. It can only be a dream.
Let me ask you a question. Tata Wado. The question I'm going to ask you,
Okay,
right?
you do that in 1 minute so that we can
The
go back
question
to
I
the
want to ask you, Tata Wado, it has been done before in Liberia. where we have planes flying from Monrovia to Sano, Maryland, and other stuff. We do not have the economy to support anybody to take the airline into Liberia. Even right now, how many airlines go to Liberia? International airlines, Morocco, Air Morocco, and Brussels.
But see, oh, you actually making my point. That's what I'm
what I'm
saying. That
telling you,
you cannot achieve that in 4 years.
but what I'm
That can
saying,
only
Tata
be
Wado,
a
Tata Wado,
dream.
Tata Wado,
That can
we
only
do
be
not have
a
the
dream.
economy to support playing from county to counties. Even though
Can we
Alright.
build? Can we
past
build that
governments,
economy?
Okay, CEO,
Yes.
okay,
let's go back to the video,
Can
guys.
can all those things happen? Yes, but it cannot happen in 4 years. That's what I'm saying. So it can only be
what
a
I'm trying to
dream.
say here, it
That's why
happened
I'm saying.
before.
That's why.
It
Guys,
happened
you're
before.
taking my time. You're taking my time.
Sorry.
CEO, let's go back
That's
to
why
the
I'm saying.
video.
Papa
I
is
mean, but
delusional.
you
Everything
gotta
you're
tell
talking
me,
about,
you
those
gotta
are
tell me where in the
exceptional,
clips you want to play.
exceptional
The clip
nation
is about
building
1
stuff you're
hour.
talking about. It's not dream.
Huh?
That's how the nation should started in the first place. What
Yeah,
he's talking about is not
hold on,
dream.
hold on. I hear the CEO. CEO,
No, I was
that
saying, where in the clips
uh,
do you want me to play?
no. If we can get to the Foya part, I mean, we've all may have seen it. We all saw it and heard it.
Okay.
But just play a little snippets, and then we'll go from there. We can bring that Foya issues in there, and I will bring that
Okay.
up. I will start that up. So just go back
All
to
right.
the video, please.
Yeah, I wish, um, I had a direct area where he said,
Yeah. I can't pinpoint, but it's somewhere within the middle because that was an hour plus long interview.
yeah,
So we're not gonna play the whole thing.
okay, all right. I'm trying to find the fine portion to be talking about. Go ahead, and I'll let you know. I will signal you.
So yeah. Okay, in the video,
In
You ready?
yeah, go ahead.
look down upon the people who are holding us to past crimes that were committed against humanity, and without them, nobody will work with us. So we did say that, okay, we had a true and the true commission. People confessed. The next step was to make good on those confessions. But everybody was afraid to touch it. I believe the way to start a country is to reconcile the country. Bring people who have committed crimes to justice. Make people know what they have done. Let them confess, let them repent, reconcile. And that's why we took the bold step to make sure that we pass executive order to recognize the crimes that have been committed in the past, that we will tell the world that we are ready to make good on them, and also to go to reconcile the country by doing the reburial that we did in Grandida, the one we did here, to bring our people together. You see the dividend that I've been paid. Go to the diaspora, open up the, make those people to know that they are part of Liberia. And after that, we had a fast and prayer time for God to forgive us for what we've done to our own country. And I don't have to tell you, I'm not God, but I don't have to tell you. See what is happening in Liberia? People feel happier. The streets are cleaner. We are building roads. We're opening up the country. That is to open up the country, not for Joe Boakai, but the future of all the people in this country, including our young people, our women. And that's what we did.
I have no idea.
Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead, Edwin. Thank you, CEO.
Go ahead.
So again, these things it sounds so repetition because this is like a headache for somebody like a number person. Because a number person, nobody even asking for the extension of the extra 14 representative adding more to the budget. They never even, I don't know if they reached it out over there. They never asking that. It's going to be downsizing the government, firing people that have it on the check, and getting the report and make the people work. You're talking about national
Right.
free flying business with career for bringing shit. I don't think he's deluded because everything he's talking about, these are all exceptional nation building stuff. These are things that already should be there that he participated in for years that are not there. So this is not new things. He participated in all the things and they wrote on it. It's like a brand new idea. It's like a new laboratory technology that we just discovered. The reason the roads are not the roads supposed to be there in the first place. We ought to be on something else. We ought to be building, building and doing something else. But because of all that failure, which he partook in, that's what we're here. So when he's speaking to EFBC, I don't know that it's a friendly channel or whatever. Like this is something brand new that he's
The
doing.
nation
The
Uma,
country
man.
is clean. The country not supposed to be clean. So
What country clean?
I don't know, bro.
But which country is clean?
To me, it's Robert's bro. It's headed for.
Look,
I
uh,
respect the papa. You gotta respect the office. I really do. I respect him. So I gave the time to listen to it. I'm not one of those people that you just be
Eric,
bashing people because I always attack ideas. I don't attack the person himself. As a person himself, he seems to be a well-intentioned older man, but he's deluded.
uh,
Listen,
Sergio Kurma, can
All
I
right,
go?
yeah, you go then, but
Okay.
Pastor take it from
Yeah,
there.
then that what will go. You know what pauses me right now when he was talking about the fast and prayer? Like, bro, do like bro need fast and prayer? We need action-oriented things going on in our country. You know how many churches we have in Liberia? And you talking about the nation to come and fast and pray? If any country in West Africa have more churches, then Liberia is closer to heaven. We should open our door and be asking heaven, come in. Okay? The point that, look, Liberians need action, people. They need action to move on. Now, we need things to happen, not prayers. Let the people act upon what they need to do. The government need to provide this revenue, avenue for people to be able to take action to build up their life. No, the point where he came up with reconciliation, we asking them to repent. Is a church now? Is that a church? Look, let me tell you, whoever committed a crime against humanity on a large scale, right? Other countries have done it. Those people should pay the price for it. But the moment we give them the a pat on a tap on the back and say it's okay, if anything happen in that country next time, those same people will pick up arms again and do the same thing. Now, Liberia, we need to set something that this was wrong. The war, the civil war in the country was wrong. We did things that we shouldn't have done, even though it's true they have the reconciliation thing going on. But anybody found guilty of crime, war crime, should be penalized. No go up and down. If you find guilty, you should be penalized. Then the country move forward. But again, if you have these guys just moving around and you think it's okay, then that's how you want to run the country. Run the country. Fast and prayer. What fast and prayer going to do? We need action. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying fast and prayer is not important, but not everybody in Liberia are Christian. There are other people who want to work and do things. So again, Liberia, I don't know, man. Let's be honest. We need a different approach. We need action approach that will bring changes to that country.
Pastor
but other people, they're just not good at economy. And I don't care how many times you're going to give the test. They're not going to be good at it. They're government people. They're just going to be telling you all the Google stuff, the government acronyms, arrest. That means that somebody will rescue me. I'm going to like, make sure to my door. And I don't see rescue. I will say, where is the help?
Pastor Olu.
I'll be asking for more help.
Yeah. So, just a few things. Number one, Liberia, everything the president is talking about, or most of the things the president is talking about, we used to be that country before.
Yep.
Right. So the president is not delusional in that what he is talking about is not based in evidence or in facts. Right. Liberia used to be that before. We used to have local airlines, right? I remember when I was just a baby, we used to take plane from Grand Creek County to Sano County, right? From Grand Creek to Morovia. There were planes that used to, there was a local airport there. These things the president is talking about, they can happen. Okay, I just don't believe that he would be able to do it in 4 years. And number two, what stuck out to me in this, clip that was played. Can you guys uh,
Go ahead.
okay. Uh, what actually stuck out to me in the in the clip that was just played is the reconciliation part, right? When a country fight against itself, that country is stand for destruction. That's what we saw during the war, the civil war that we had in the country. That was Liberians fighting against Liberians. It was a country that was fighting against itself. We killed at least 250,000 of our brothers and sisters. We destroyed properties. We destroyed our country. For what? We are still experiencing the very same thing. The TRC says that brought the war in the first place, bad governance, corruption, all of this stuff. We are still doing exactly the same thing. So to me, reconciling the country is very important. I have to employ the president for for the little things that they have done, most especially when what he talked about, the reburial of the former presidents. Okay. And then, Brother Joe, after that reburial and the little conversation they had with the families and other people that were involved, that's how they went for fast and prayer. Right? He didn't talk about fast and prayer in the context of governance. Right? He said we went for fast and prayer at least for God to forgive our sin. I don't think that was a bad thing. And we shouldn't criticize Liberia for having a lot of churches. When people build network, we don't criticize them. Because so we shouldn't criticize people when we have churches. We shouldn't do that. But just to come to the point, I think Liberia needs to be reconciled. We are divided on so many from us, especially when it comes to politics. Okay, to me, I have never seen Liberia so much divided than what Liberia is now. Under this president that talks about reconciliation, I thought President Boakai could have been the one that will reconcile the country. When the president took over Liberia, what he started doing first, he started firing CDC people that had tenure position.
Yeah.
That's the first he started doing. He started violating the laws of our country, going against things that are in our constitution. The Supreme Court gave a ruling, and the president said, "I don't respect your ruling. I'm going to take the speaker out and replace him with my own speaker." That's what the president started doing. Those are things that divide a country. I thought he could have been the statesman, the elderly man that could have reconciled this country. So the one that he spoke about during, I think they need to do more of that. Liberia needs to be reconciled. We are so divided. There are Liberians at home that don't want to see Liberians in the diaspora. There are Liberians in the diaspora that are so disgusted about Liberians back home. We are just all over the place, and we don't even value ourselves. After the president could have been the one that will bring us together, right? So I'm praying for that. I hope they have a plan to do that, and I think President Boakai can do it. He just need to be fixated on reconciling his country and not violating the laws that he's sworn an oath to protect.
Thank you. And after this, I would like to go to the comments. If there are any comments on
Well,
our
brother,
YouTube
think you're reading my mind.
yeah. But let me
It's,
make this point, right?
go ahead.
I heard a president who was talking about truth and reconciliation. Speaking about the TRC. Our president, again, I hate to sound like this, but I see our president saying one thing, but the action does not equate, right? You want a TRC, you claim you open the office of a TRC for everybody to come, but who is president working with right now? You talk about people can't commit their crimes and all of that. I just want, look, let me tell you something. You got to be a practical person. If you want to bring people to the book of committing crime, I want you to start by staying away from them first. Because it's a plain record of a guy like Butt Naked, Joshua Bly, a man who contributed immensely to the election to the electoral process of President Boakai. Start from there. But you cannot do that. Our president does not have that moral rectitude to even do that because he himself participated immensely to this war, like my brother was alluding to. Our president was a former leader for Lofa Defense Force. So all of this is just charade. It's all for fun. It's just for you know what? Let me just start the process. But it's not gonna go nowhere. You and myself know where economic crime code will not go nowhere in Liberia. Whether it's
Look,
from the Helen to of course presidency is out of the way. But even if Joseph Boakai himself will come to the book to come answer questions. Again, there are proven records of that. So what is he saying? He's just saying, look, I just opened an office for a charade for fun, but you know, I'm just doing the people work, but it's not going to happen because I must say my hands were being cut in the cookie jar. Eh? The president alluded to almost 250,000 people died. He contributed to it.
yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. The president contributed to it.
Sergeant Montgomery,
Yes, sir.
can I read something real quick?
Go
The
ahead.
video,
Go
the
ahead.
video was just playing online. Somebody
Yeah.
commented on something, and I think it catch my attention. But I just want to read
Yeah,
it to
go ahead.
us, right? And it
Go
came
ahead.
from somebody called Richard Habad. So it
Yeah, go
said,
ahead.
Mr. President, please review the issue of dual currency. We need to prioritize our local currency like it is in the sub-region. This will help improve some level of control in our economy. These are
All right.
relevant issues that
All
Liberia
right.
be
Well,
facing. Even the National Bank of Liberia, they have some discussion about that. These are things we need to be talking about. We having dual currency. Why can't we
yes, CEO,
prioritize
before I
our
lose,
nation's currency? But again, I'm just saying
before I
something.
lose my
But
train of thought,
some are like these are things you need to be talking about, not
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Before I lose my train of thought, I was
Go
just
ahead,
trying to
brother.
go
Sorry.
down the line for what? No, no, you're good. You're good. It's good you brought that out. Again, thanks to that audience that put that up. I was just saying, right? The president needs to be a very straightforward with the Liberian people. The president talked about reburial of Samuel Doe. Is it not on record of Prince Johnson saying, look, we criminated the president, the former president's body? Is it not on record? Which where did we what which lab was those bones taken to test that yes indeed you wasted the Liberian people money? You wasted the Liberian people. So Prince Johnson and the president who's lying to us? Who's wasting the Liberian people resources in the name of I'm going to bury a former president? The president just wanna assure if indeed you collected the late former president remains, let it be that it would have been publicized to the nation, take it to some kind of lab and test it, and let it be indicated that yes, this was the remains of the late president. But who know where you go put in a case that you come and tell the Liberian people say, oh, and when the president, the man who killed it, man, say, oh, we criminated the man body. Then you come
Yes.
and say, no, we dug the body. I'm telling you, this is public
Go ahead.
information.
Yeah, I was just laughing. That's
No,
all.
it's there. So I'm confused, Pastor Wallo. I want Pastor Wallo to jump on here and help me, and then Edwin will take it from there, and then we'll go back to the UCO.
Okay.
You are right. Look, I said previously that we the president talk really good. Okay, but yeah, there are some things that he himself cannot even defend or justify, right? Um, and most especially when it comes to this reconciliation part, I think if it is not the president, but the buck start with the president, right? His administration has been very divisive. His administration has been very, very divisive. Um, starting with firing, seditions are Liberians, right? Start and then move on to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, you know, the Supreme Court, and tenure positions and all of those stuff, right? The president have done that. I don't want to go into the president's uh, war history. That was civil war, right? We passed that now. He's not a president, right? But the fact that people hold him to be a statesman and an elderly person, I really, really thought, if President Boakai would fail at anything because of him being a traditional person, I thought he was going to be the one that would bring the country together. When a country is united, there is nothing that Liberians will not be able to do. We will do it together, and the glory will be us to celebrate. Right? That's all I can say about that.
Thank you. Edwin, you want to chime on that before we go to CEO?
Yeah, I just want to make a little bit of correction earlier. When I said Joseph Braga was deluded, I'm not saying that before the Civil War we never had like airlines going from one county to another county. That's not what I'm saying. His delusion stems from that he can reunite these same things within the X amount of years that he has. That's why his delusion is. That's why I pointed at his delusion. So he's deluded for saying that for the next 3 years or 3.5 do the same thing that we have back in the day. That's what I said. Also, the reason why I keep pushing economy in a place, our country needs a lot of healing. The TRC is needed. But the driving force behind any of that is to create an economy where people are working and doing for themselves. When your economy is booming, that degrees a department can be created in the university because you got so much money to do a lot of different stuff. Because when the economy is well propelled, then you have psychologists, people that you can talk to, that can hear you. Then the thing can be funded. But you can't do the reverse. You can't just be doing people things, people need healing, go talk, and they go when they're hungry. Or to go on some kind of pastor, go stay in that faith in the name of Jesus Christ. You can't do that. So you need people to start working. You need people to value their life. They got to feel like they are human when they work out in the morning. They got something to go to. They're important. So you need to start an economy. Now, the economy will in retroverse is going to help people to establish all of these healing policies that you want. Well, if any country that don't have economy, everybody results, whether you're hurting. So you can't be healed, and you can't be healed, and at the same time you're hungry. So we need somebody to jumpstart that is going to serve us. The economy is the answer for everything. There's a reason why America gave the citizens bombing them. It's they put them seats down a little bit because that money is going to help them with a lot of stuff. But you can't be healing, walking around, but then you're hungry. Go like that. So if you put Jason Barker in UP or the citizen, they know how to do government. We give it to them. But they're not going to be the ones to prepare Liberia to where we want it to be. They don't know how to do that. It's not because they're not smart, but they already reached that. I'm going to tell you about this afternoon.
All right, so time is fast spent. I just want us to go into. We'll not go back to the video, but we all saw it. I will start from CEO. CEO, again, take that from me. It's in the video. The president alluded to the. He said, the building.
Skippy, can I comment? Can I comment first before you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Next one. So, my thing is, the TRSC. I just pulled it up. The TRSC in Liberia was established by law in 2005.
Okay. So you can increase your volume a little bit.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that the TRSC in Liberia was established by law in 2005. Okay. Now it was meant to investigate human rights abuse from 1979 to 2003. My thing here is, how long can we keep the TRSC going? We need to move forward with other stuff. Okay, with the foundings of TRSC, are the government or is the government willing to press charges on these people who committed crime in Liberia? If not the case, then we need to stop wasting resources especially on doing something that is going to yield to nothing. Okay, the government should be investing into its people, into human capital, not wasting money into TRC, knowing fully well these people are going to walk free. My thing here is, if you want to get it done, get it done. If you don't want to get it done, put it aside. The Liberian people need development. That's all I can say. Brother Sergeant.
Yeah, let's go back to, because we're about to, one out the time here.
Yeah.
Time is fast spent. Let me go start with you again, CEO. We've been on the same platform. This building that was erected in Foya, we all said was for the president. The president came up boldly in that interview, saying that he doesn't own the building, but rather the building is for the use of the Mano River Union. So when presidents come in, they can use it. That's what he said in that tape. So it is not for his personal use or his retirement home, as we've all been saying, but rather is for the use of other presidents that may come into Liberia. And he said for the Mano River Union use. Let me start with you, CEO. What do you make of that?
So
And
my
I'll
thing here
come to
is,
Evan.
I think the tension was too much on the Boakai government leading to this. If this was meant for the intended thing he just said, the issue has been revealed from the beginning. It was built. I think the pressure is mounting too much, so he got to defer that on a different thing. And I'm glad he came and cleared it out. So now that property is Liberia's property. So again, it's not going to be a president or ex-president home to live. And again, I said he wasn't being, what the government wasn't being truthful from the beginning of time when this was happening. Now I just think that the tension is too much. So Joseph Braga, like, you know what, Ben, I gotta find a way to clear the air here and say it's gonna be used for Mano River Union purpose use. And again, I would say thank you for clearing it out. And then now Liberian people know that that particular building or that compound is Liberia's property.
Thank you, brother Edwin. You want to weigh in that?
Well, I don't agree with what Joseph Vargas said concerning deflecting that the building is, and again, I don't attack people personally. I wouldn't even care, but I don't want to say if that was his building, which is something. But the thing is, it's still a quid pro quo, right? Congress never decided on that budget, and Congress never agreed for the building to be situationally built in Lofa County. Let's just take a word for what it is right now. Let's say he built it for that intention. If people are flowing, they're having meetings over there. Do you know how many economic strength is going over to Lofa if that thing is fully functional? So you are intentionally transferring economics. You're going to make deals over there in Lofa County. It's all type of fishy, bro. The fact that it's not even for him, it's even worse. Because this wasn't something that was proposed. This wasn't that people decided on, that voted on. And they never said that we should go build it in Lofa County. Well, we should build it right in Moravia or somewhere else, but straight to your home. And if you build it, if you're hosting these people, the economy is going to boom for whatever amount of days they're in Foya for. So it's bad all over. The fact that you don't even own it is even worse.
Thank you, Dr. Wallo.
Yeah, I think I do make a very beautiful point there. So the the buildings in Foya, the government have not been very straight up with what actually it is about, who owns it. They've been all over the place. I tell people to lie is hard, right? The government was trying to really lie, and everything they did was troubling because they were not forthcoming with the truth. Um, but what President Walker said is more troubling. I wish he did not say anything about that. Now, what do I mean by that? The president said first he did not know about it. And if he were going to be told about that, they knew that he was not going to accept it. That's why he said he didn't know about it. He, wait a minute.
Wow.
How you didn't know about something that is being erected, being built in your backyard? And when were you told about it? Who told you about it? And when you were told, what was your reaction about it? If in the first place you said that if I was told from the beginning I was not going to accept it, why did you accept it now? Now that you have accepted it, where is the funding coming from?
Yeah.
Who is funding it? Because it's not in the national budget. I don't think I heard the president say that the building is for ECOWAS. I mean, if for the Mana River Union, if for the sub-region. I don't think that's what he said. I think what he said was Foya was chosen because Sierra Leone president can drive from Sierra Leone to Foya, Guinea president can drive from Guinea to Foya, Africa president can drive from Africa to Foya. It's a close proximity to all of these presidents. But what he did not say is that that place belonged to the MRA. He said it's a place that, national borders can come to have many, but how did it start in the first place?
Yep.
How did it start? Who started it? And when the president said, I was not told, it disturbed me because how many things going on in Liberia that the president wasn't aware of? How many things? The only people that were elected in our country were President Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn. No minister is elected. No head of any agency was elected. The Liberian people elected Joseph Boakai. If Joseph Boakai is not making this decision, who is making these decisions? I think it was a failure. It was a failure on the part of the president because it is his responsibility to know. He's supposed to know. And the fact that he did not know is so troubling because there are so many things in my view, there are so many things that are happening in the country that the president might not have known about. So many things. And that is a disservice to the Liberian people. And the president should be blamed for that. They still haven't come clean on the full story. Everything they are still saying is still a lie. They are still trying to cover up. They haven't come clean yet. The president said he did not know about who started it, where the source of the funding came from. And all of that, Liberian people have never been told any of those information. The president just brushed over it, and then he moved on. We need more clarity on that, because if the president will fight corruption, that will hurt him in 2029. That will hurt him. Okay, that will hurt him. There is no justification for that. No justification whatsoever for that.
Thank you. I think we got less than 12 minutes to be on the air. Again, let me just say big thanks to our listening audience here. Again, once again, this is the Action Required Media. If in the future you have, the urge to be on this show, send us a message. We'll send you the link, invite you to come on, and also you can also post us, happenings in Liberia for us to speak on. But let me say something, Pastor Wallow. I just sent something in our chat room. You say you didn't hear or you didn't see the president saying that. I just posted a statement from the president in our chat room. So if you go in there, you see it where he stated that about the Mano River Union issue. But look, let me say this thing. I see a president again who is not in control. All right. I felt like it was a PR mistake, or he was trying to do a damage control. First of all, putting him in the studio there that I acknowledge that the people tried, but I think his team was not. They didn't prepare the president well. His talking point, I don't know if they went over it, but I think the president shot himself in the leg too many times in that radio interview. I listened to it extensively. Right? Look, the president just alluded to his government mismanaging resources of the country. He just alluded to that. I remember Daniel Sano, which is the deputy minister of information, got on air and said the president don't know nothing about that building, about those buildings. Again, those are public record. He said the president don't know nothing about it. Less than few days later, the president is coming back as one who has full knowledge of it, but yet now he is saying, yeah, as a matter of fact, the president is distancing himself from it. Look, even if those project was cost $1 was spent to erect those buildings, those funds came from somewhere that somebody need to account for, that needs to be accounted for, where those funds came from. Now the president is only making a case for Foya now because it's like his hands is in a cookie jar again. That's where the president is from. So now he's trying to dig hole, cover hole. Talking when the Salvadorian president come, when the Guinea president come, that's where they will go. Oh, they will not stay in Morovia, but they will go all the way Foya, where the road is not even good at this point. But that's where. So you see, the president just makes all these mistakes, and his PR team, his people around him were not even doing the president justice. Knowing that the president was going to speak on this issue, you guys shouldn't have spoken in the first place because your dog more hole for the president for him to sit on public media and say, "Oh, I like that those building belongs. It's not for me. It's going to be dedicated to the Mano River Union." Huh? So our president is why he mean well, but at the same time, I'm not sure he's ready for the job. I'm not sure he's ready for the job. But CEO, I don't know how much time we have at this point.
I think we should just do our closing now.
Okay, okay. So that's what we are. That's what we find ourselves. It's not fair to the Liberian people, the people who voted for you. Their expectations were high that you will come in there and change. But then again, it's not late. But one thing everybody can see, if the Christmas will be good, they can tell from the Eve, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better for Liberia now because our president has come up publicly to let you know that yes, I'm mismanaging funds, but yet I don't know where those funds are going. Again, I would like to say thank you to our listening audience. Thank you, CEO, for affording us the platform, the time. Let's do our closing. And I would like to start on from our brother Edwin Paul, my intellectual brother.
All right, thank you guys. I think it was a good talk. Actually, I love to talk economics. If you guys already know, like music to my ears, because I think that's the only way further to the country. Um, I think Joseph Boakai, UP, Sedition, they are all showing us. All of them have almost 20 years on that belt. They show us what they can do. This is their best. This is what they know how to do. They know how to do government. They know how to do bureaucracy. They know how to do all of these things. They know how to lie. They know how to lie to you about minor rural building or whatever. That's what they can do. So we should they're doing our best. Any service to the country is a service. I'm not gonna be here critiquing Joseph Boakai when he put in that gonna line, even though he might be profiting, but at least he's still serving his country. He's better than me. Even though he might be a little bit corrupt, but he's still better than me because he's in service. So I don't like to go too personal on these things. But we need a new vision. We need a new vision to unite, to at least stand out in our West Africa like we have always been. It's not late. It can be done. We need somebody to spark the fire. If Kumi is the guy, he need to work overnight and do it. But we need a new vision. Again, we'll be talking about the same thing over and over. They're just gonna be all government oriented. All the people that have been coming, all the politicians have been listening to it. I never see anybody talk economy except for the new guy we're talking about all the time. He the ones that going around doing business, even though it's not organized, but it can be harnessed. But until we can come to that, it's always gonna be government, 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 government lying, breaking the rules, firing speaker without people approval, They calling yourself you're rescuing people, but you're throwing people out of the canoe. But you say I yet to rescue you. That's crazy. But anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Waller.
Awesome, Edwin. Beautiful. I love that analogy. You came to rescue me while you're that.
He traded
He
he traded the
in
water.
the water. That's exactly what's happening. But thank you, CEO. Thank you, Pastor Kuma and Edwin as well. It was nice being here. I thought it was a fair and honest discussion. Again, I want to say that um, uh, those that put the president out there to do a radio interview to talk about some of these national issues, I thought that they did a really good service to the president. The president needs to be out there more. In a video, in an interview, he said that he wants to do county tour, but he wants to make sure yellow missions get in Liberia, bridges are built, things are happening before he can do that. You don't have to wait for all of that. You have to continue to communicate what you are doing, communicate your vision, communicate with the country where the country is. Liberians want to hear from their president. It took 2 years before the president can do one radio interview. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not okay. The president should avail himself to the media so that we will be able to hear from him. That's why we elected him to lead us. Okay, we want to hear from him, even though yes, he has surrogates, but we want to hear from the president. And so I thought they did him a good service to put him out there. The country hasn't been rescued yet. The president said that's why he came to rescue the country. When he says something, he mean it. I want to take the president's word for that, but I'm just going to break the news to him that the country hasn't been rescued yet. All of the things that you outlined that you came to rescue, none of that has happened yet, Mr. President. So, being an old man, I know you have this beautiful dream about your country. You love your country, and I'm taking that challenge, Mr. President. I am taking that challenge that this dream of yours to see Liberia become, a respectable country, in a word, to see Liberia developed with good roads, with a better 21st century economy, uh, that has a private sector, a strong, vibrant private sector, the country that you dream about with good governance. The picture you painted, I take upon that challenge as a very young man that listen to you as our president, that we will be inspired, as the next generation after you guys, so that we will make sure that that happens. But I just don't, I know that, you are doing your best, continue to do your best. After you, there will come another, and we will continue to, to to build on this. Government is continuity. We continue to build on this until we reach to where we need to be. But I think the president should continue to do more of these radio interviews, because what he talked about, I think a lot of people listen to him. It gave a lot of people hope. The president is still thinking about what he thought about before when he became president, except that those things have not materialized yet, but I know they are work in progress. So let the president do more of that. So with that, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hoping and praying to God that 2026 will be a better year for Liberia and for all Liberians. God bless you guys.
Thank you, CO.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Water, and Brother Edwin Poor, and to our host, Sergeant Montgomery. Again, I was confused when the president was addressing the nation, said he's not a president. He didn't come to be a president, he came to rescue. So I don't know. A rescuer will always take somebody from danger and turn it over to a specific care. So I don't know when that's going to happen. But again, we as Liberian, if we want to develop, we should be fair in our statement and fair in our remarks to other people who have served this nation. And again, Liberia is a great nation with for the people with love. I think we have love for the country, but if we impact that into being nationalistic, we will do well. Liberia situation have not yet resolved. Hunger is killing the people. Sanitation is worsening. The cities are not clean, even though I heard the president say that some areas they just put cameras on there to say it's clean. But what's happened to Waterside? What happened to Raylight? What happened to Bannerford? What happened to all the dump site area? You don't show these pictures. What happened to the safe drinking water? Is it safe enough for people to drink? Now, let's stop playing politics and put Liberia first. Let's give a man a credit when he deserves it. Let's give a past government credit when they do deserve it. We need to be more of a nation builder than to tear somebody down. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we say thank you for listening and watching Action Require Media. Please like and share our show and comment. Thank you again and have a blessed and wonderful Sunday.
Well, let me just follow the CEO by saying thanks to all of our listening audience. We appreciate your time, welcoming us into your homes. Want to say, please don't be a stranger to our network. Come on, share your views with us, and share the show. But again, thanks to Brother Edwin, thanks to Dr. Wallow. Um, you see, I like the scriptures, right? I want to believe is Luke 12:48. Luke 12:48 says, "To whom much is given, much is required." And I'm speaking directly to our current president of our country. Liberia has been good to the former president. I mean, to the current president, Boakai. Whether doing his service as a young man and up to 42 years, I want to agree that Liberia has been good to him. Liberia has given him the space to serve. Liberia has given him the recognition that he now, you know, is proud of boasting with. And Liberia has been good to this president. All Liberians are asking for now, please reciprocate it, give it back. What has been given to you? Liberia don't need the same old politician who has failed the nation. President Boakai, at a man of your age and status, I think we mean well when we come up on this platform to say what we say, not to just bash you. Even though I don't agree with your views, I just feel you are one of the same old politicians. But I want you to prove me wrong, President Boakai. I want you to say that little man, how can I win him? I want those things to change. You blame your former leader, the president you served with. You say you were a parked car, but now you are not being parked. You are flying like a Ferrari. I want you to do the people's work. The people heavily depend on you. You want to leave a mark. You want to leave a footprint in the sand of time that people will remember you. To say, you know what, this man came, even though that first time, what he did is these are things that he did. So that's all I'm asking for, President Boakai. We don't hate you, we love you. We just want the best for the Liberian people because I know the Liberian people deserve what's best. With that said, up until next week, I want to say thank you and thank you. See you. Take it from
Thank
there.
you. Thank you.